If you're serious about high fidelity sound but are tight on space, the new Andover SpinPlay might just be the perfect device for you. I've been using it for the past 3 months as my third turntable setup, and it's quickly become one of my favorite ways to listen to music because of the portability.
So Andover is a company based in Boston, actually near where I live. They're in Andover, Massachusetts. Now, when comparing the SpinPlay to other all-in-one systems, there are 3 things that really stand out. So the first is the IsoGroove patented technology for the SpinPlay. And then they have optimized bracing in here and an advanced DSP where it isolates the speaker vibrations passing through to the disc and therefore the tone arm and the cartridge that minimizes the unwanted vibrations. In 2017, I built an all-in-one stereo console, and unknowingly that's something I kind of did in there because the top part of the speaker box, I actually put a foam padding so it isolated. And with the combination of the SL1200, it's very heavy and has a little bit of cushioning in the feet. And the same here. I've never heard the record get impacted by the actual audio system. And I rarely turn it past 15, maybe tops. And then second, a reason that these portable all-in-one consoles get a bad rep is they just have generally poor speakers. So at most, you're normally talking about a stereo pair. Whereas here we have a system of 4 speakers. And also if you get the sub, then you will have good low end as well. Speaking of the 4 speaker system, there are 2 4-inch woofers and 2 0.75-inch silk down tweeters, combining to have 70 watts of power and 270 degrees of sound. So the only area that's not really getting sound is the backside here. But in this setup, you can see that would not be very beneficial. And then the third reason is the cartridge specifically. So on Reddit, there's a subreddit called Vinyl Jerk. You used to see them way more, but now every once in a week, you'll see some joke about a Crosley and how those cartridges can actually, destroy your records over time much quicker than a normal cartridge. But the Audio-Technica 3600L is a pretty solid cartridge. It's kind of mid-range in price, has good sound in general, but I will do a quick demo here. All right, so I've moved it outside now and we're in a little bit of a more open environment, so you should get a better idea of the sound that it can fill. I'm not gonna play a record just because it's probably copyrighted, so it might be difficult for you to hear if this gets copyright claimed. So I'm just gonna play something copyright free via Bluetooth. I'll show you how it connects via Bluetooth too. I'll maybe do like a 10, 15, 20 volume just so you can get an idea of the strength of it. And in this scenario, we are not having the sub right now, just FYI. But I do have a stereo mic here, so I'll show you from the listening position. Maybe I'll move a little to the left, a little to the right, and a little further and stuff, so you can get an idea of the sound quality. Just note that these things don't translate always the best over YouTube. All right, so I'm pulling up a copyright-free 80s synthwave playlist, and we'll beam it over here. I'll power it on, and then I will change the source. It's on phono. You can see now it's on Bluetooth. And then hopefully in a second, you should hear it connect to my phone. There we go. It auto-connected, you can hear. We're at 10 volume. Let's go to 15. I'll move left. I'll move right. Now we're in a lo-fi chill channel, neo soul. So let's go up to 20. And I don't know if it's coming across, but it's filling this room pretty well here. So anyways, there's a little sound test for you. You'll see now I'm probably maybe 20, 25 feet away. That's what it sounds like. And we'll move over here. This is probably 30, 40 feet away maybe. And remember, it's at volume 20. And the cool thing, I'm sure you noticed already, it does also provide a good little now playing shelf so you can show off the album you're playing. And one thing actually about the slip mat, I was checking it out yesterday. I did have one that I wanted to play around with putting it on. And this does fit and it does work, but I noticed that the actual rubber slip mat, you can try to pull it off Clearly it's very designed for this because it's an all-in-one system, but I think there is adhesive in there. I actually probably wouldn't recommend removing that. You can certainly add one on top if you want. Maybe I'll get a top-down shot here. But I imagine that might change the actual tone arm dynamic. It did sound fine in general, but I can't say if that would put more tracking force on the disc. You might need to adjust the weighting a little bit, but you can see it does work with that. But I think in general, I would probably just leave it off and put the disc there. And then there is a headphone hook here. You can actually put it on the other side as well. For this setup, I want it over here so it's more visible. Then on the right side here, there is a 3.5 input. So we'll flip it around so you can check out there. But generally, this thing is pretty light. It's only 20.5 pounds. So when you close it up, if you want to move it around, it is really not that difficult. The only time I moved the sub as well was when I first set it up. I set it up downstairs because I wanted to hear it in a different environment and see how the sub really performed. Whereas this room is good for the sub, but I don't really want to crank it in here because it is more in the corner and then you'll get more of that reverberation of the bass. But it is super easy to carry around with the locking mechanism for the tone arm. It is designed for that as well. And then it's nice, there is an auto start stop feature. So see, it's completely off. It'll take a second and then it'll start playing there. And then when I stop it, the record will stop. And you can see the volume here. There's a little hidden LED in the back. And then with the controller, you can quickly change that too. The remote is an IR remote. It does need a little bit of line of sight, but I've never had an issue with it. It's surprising actually the amount of bass. So I'm gonna flip the camera back here. And you'll see I can hit the bass, it's at -2. So I'll go flat now. And then treble, we can see I'm at +2. I'll go flat again. But it makes it really easy to control right there. The bass treble, and then the source here, and the power button. And then you can go headphones here too. And if you're, I can go next. So I just click next. There are also tools for the spin stand that you can mount these in the back if you want to dry anchor it into the wall. So if you had it in a more precarious spot where there's risk of it getting knocked over or something like that, you could put it there. Or if you have pets or animals or something that you're afraid they're gonna bump this. But the spin stand does have some modularity to it. You can choose, if you didn't want the sub, you could have another level of record storage as well. I chose to get the sub, obviously, and I really like the clean aesthetic and design of it. And then there are some extra cables. There's also a little mount if you want to run a 45 disc that will fit right in there. There is no place to keep it on the actual record player, like on the SpinPlay, but I just put most of the excess stuff I have on this little shelf down here. Speaking of this little shelf, I have some coasters with some classic, Nas, Wu-Tang, Def Jam recordings. And so I keep that here and keep the remote here. And I'm actually gonna build this limited edition Lego replica set of a retro record player. Looks pretty much like my SL1200. So build that here, and then we can pop it in here. There is actually two-way Bluetooth, where I can connect, you saw when I switched to Bluetooth, my phone connects and then I can just play stuff directly to here. So it's just like a big Bluetooth speaker. There is actually two-way Bluetooth though. So you could hook this up to a pair of Bluetooth speakers if you didn't want to use this, or if you had a really good sound system, you could stream it to that. I personally wouldn't really recommend that because this is all directly connected and you will introduce delay with Bluetooth. And then you're also losing some fidelity when you're transferring the signal to speakers. Part of the beauty of this, I think, is that it's all directly connected. I will never be using that feature, but just so you know, that is an option if you want to do that. And actually, I hadn't seen this, but there is a 2-year product warranty, so I'm gonna actually go register this right after. I forgot to do that when I first bought it. So it looks like it comes with a 1-year warranty, but if you register online, you'll get a 2-year warranty. So worth doing for sure. And for pricing of the SpinPlay, so all in, I think you're looking at about $1,350 to $1,400 for all this combined. The player itself is $729, but yesterday I actually did see it on a 7.5% discount. So I imagine this will go on sale once in a while. Also, if you're not getting the sub, I should note that you don't really need the spin stand. There are plenty of other options that you can get that might even fit your style better. And yes, it is relatively expensive, But I think short of their Andover One system, which is like 4 or 5 grand, this is probably the best all-in-one system you can buy. And I didn't really want to spend 4 to 5 grand on something that has its natural limitations, right? That contraption is no bigger than this, so maybe the speakers are a little bit better, but you're still dealing with the form factor. But I want to say this is going to sound 85 to 90% as good as that just because of the physical limitations of it. Eventually, if this AT3600L breaks, I could upgrade that and make it sound even a little bit better. That's what I did on my vertical project turntable. I'm assuming this is some form of project collab because when you get their spin bass with the record player they offer, I think that is a project built one. So I'm imagining this is also a project. And then here are the dimensions listed on screen. It's not very big, just a little bit bigger than your average record player because it's got these speakers built into it as well. And this has a nice tactile feel when you turn it on and off. So anyways, hopefully that gives you a nice summary of the SpinPlay. I've really enjoyed my time with it so far. And for this space that I was looking for, it's the perfect solution. Sure, I have better audio systems, but this is one of my favorite and one of the easiest to use, to be honest. If you want to check out a vinyl storage system that I built for my stereo record console, you can see that here. Or if you want to see another audio project that I built, you can check that out here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.